Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just going to be a really casual get ready with me. I don't have anywhere to go really or anything to do except for film. So I'm starting off with this video because I feel like it makes sense. I'm gonna put on my makeup and then I'll film my other videos. So everything will be listed below, but I think I might be a little chatty in this video. So if I forget to list something, just check the description box, but I'm gonna start with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I haven't used this in a really long time and I always liked it. I just pumped like a ton of that on. I don't feel like you need too much for it to work. This product is really good. So I don't know if I mentioned it or not. I might have, but I did start another YouTube channel. It's not part of the primer. It's not makeup related. It's actually a luxury channel. So yeah, I definitely love watching luxury videos. I like watching honestly a lot of different types of YouTube videos, as I feel like a lot of people might. But yeah, so I obviously like makeup videos. I watch family YouTube channels. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do, before I do foundation, I'm gonna put on a little bit of the Fenty eye brightener, just because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night and I feel like I need it. I feel like, oof, my dark circles looking a little rough. But yeah, so I watch makeup channels. I watch some family YouTube channels. And then some channels that started off as one thing kind of like change and will end up being something else. So if any of you guys know Alexandria Garza, she definitely did a lot of makeup and like beauty content. When I first started watching her, she was dating her now husband. I think she was living at home, and now, so I started watching her when she was dating, living at home. Then I remember when they got engaged, she moved out, she bought a house, they had a child, they had another child, and I feel like now her channel has morphed into a little bit more of like a lifestyle. So I would actually consider her more of a lifestyle YouTuber versus a beauty YouTuber. And I'm gonna use the HAUS Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I just did a video reviewing this not too long ago. And I love this stuff. But anyway, so yeah. So I watch lifestyle videos. I also like to watch like planning, the planning community for like organization. And I like luxury videos. So especially if I am going to buy something soon, I really like to watch the luxury channels, just because, I mean, 9 times out of 10, whatever you want, you can find somebody who already has it, and they'll, if they talked about it at all on their channel, they likely did some sort of review or first impressions or something. So I don't know, you just get good insight as to what they thought of it before you spend your money on it. So I really like the luxury channel for that. And anyways, it's just, I mean, if I get something nice, like if I get a new purse or a new piece of jewelry, it's just nice to be able to talk about it with people who care about that stuff. I did do an unboxing. Yeah, I did an unboxing on this channel, I want to say last year, like late last year. And it's not that it got like, I don't think anyone left any like mean comments or anything, but luxury is like a funny thing. I feel like, I don't know, it's not what this channel started off as. And although I'm okay doing more than makeup on this channel, I don't know, there's something about it, like talking about luxury items just feels a little bit meh. So I decided that I would just go ahead and create another channel. So I don't typically link it below, but I will just because I'm talking about it in this video. I'll link it below in case anyone is also into that. If not, totally fine. But yeah, this channel is mainly beauty and some lifestyle. That channel is mainly like luxury with some lifestyle. So yeah, so that is that. So I'm gonna film for that channel after this one. Okay, so foundation is done. Next, I'm going to do concealer. Okay, so also in the same video that I review the HAUS Labs foundation and the powder, I talked about this concealer. It's by Lancome. It's the Teint Idole Ultra Wear concealer. And actually, yeah, no, it was this one. So I talked about this concealer and I love it. I'm obsessed. I think it is so, so good. So I went out and bought another one because here's the thing. I felt like, I mean, this one, it is lighter than my skin tone. I'll just show you. I'll use both. This one is the shade 415. It's in the shade 415. So let me show you guys. It is lighter than my skin tone, for sure. But after I blended it out, I just didn't feel like it was, I don't know, that brightening. So this is what it looks like with the 415. And then, and this concealer blends in so easily, like so fast, so quick. It literally takes just a couple of swipes and it's like gone. It's like the greatest thing ever. If you're somebody who like goes back to the office for work, or just somebody who likes to wear makeup every day, but you don't have a lot of time, you have to get this concealer. I've never ever seen a concealer like this one, like ever. Okay, so I don't know if you see what I mean, but it blends in so seamlessly and beautiful, and I love that about it, but I can't really see too much brightness, which kind of makes sense because I have a Lancome foundation and I think it's in the shade 425. So this one is 415. It's just not that big of a jump. So I got this one. So this is in the shade 320 and I haven't tried it on. I'm really hoping it's not too light. And it doesn't look like crazy. So if you guys hear that weird sound, that's my refrigerator. I have no idea why it makes that sound, but. Okay, so we're gonna try to blend this in now and hopefully I don't look crazy. And I typically always take the concealer up on my eyelid just so this whole area is kind of like the same color. And then I'll kind of bring it down here. Okay, that's not bad. Definitely not bad. Now I'm gonna put on a little bit of my Chanel. This is the Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid. And so I'm just gonna put this. Ooh, a little bit of this goes a really long way, but the nice thing about this is it blends out. Just like this concealer, it blends out so easily. So if you overdo it, you can just easily blend it out. But let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, I know what I was gonna talk about. Married at First Sight. Okay. I don't know how many of you guys watch Married at First Sight. I think it's on TLC or Lifetime. Is it Lifetime or is it TLC? I'll check, I'll put it on the screen somewhere. One of those stations. But if you have not seen the most recent episode, which is, what is today? Okay, so today is October 1st, and I'm going to be talking about September 29th's episode. So if you watch Married at First Sight but you haven't seen, like you're behind, just a quick little, disclaimer. We're gonna be talking about that. Next I'm gonna go in really fast with the Saie Dew Blush. I just got a new one. So I think it was my hat video where I first tried the Saie liquid blushes and I got this one. This is in the shade Rosy and it was so pretty. I loved it so much and it was just so easy to blend out. But I don't know, this color kind of screams summer to me a little bit. I mean, you could wear it any time of the year, but I just wanted one that was a little bit deeper. So I got this shade, which is called Spicy. So I'll just show you guys the difference. So Spicy, this one, is like a warm terracotta color, which I was like, that's perfect for the fall. So I'm gonna put some of that on. Okay, so Married at First Sight. For anybody who doesn't watch the show, it's basically this reality show where you have this panel of experts and they, I guess for lack of better terms, interview a bunch of single women and a bunch of single men, and they try to find them a match. So, and it's like it's like an arranged marriage. So if you are chosen, if the experts choose you and they find you a husband or a wife, then you meet them at the altar and you get married. And I mean, it sounds corny and like so American reality TV, I feel like, but I mean, and it is, but it's really good. So honestly, they're in, I don't even know what season they're in, but they have done a lot of these seasons. Me and my husband started watching around like season 7 maybe, and it was just by accident. Honestly, I think there was nothing else on at the time and I was like, I'll watch this. But it was so good, and I think I started watching it first, then I got him hooked, and now we look forward to every season. It's just so good to just, I don't know, seeing people in that dynamic. I can't imagine what that would be like to not know someone and to just be relying on this panel of experts that this is your person and that you guys like are supposed to be together. Okay, hold on, I'm losing my train of thought. This is why sometimes I'm like, I just need to like focus on things, because then I get talking and then I get excited and I'm like, what am I doing? What am I actually doing? I'm going to use some powder. I'm gonna use the Haus Labs powder. I also reviewed this, and I am going to use this just for my eyes. This is in the shade Golden, and I mean, it works for all over my face, but I think I prefer the Kosas powder, to be honest, for all over the face. It's just really, really light. This is this is light too, but not quite as light, in my opinion, as the Kosas. So I'm just gonna set my eyes, and then underneath as well, maybe like around the nose. Actually, hold on. Okay, so this past Wednesday's episode, there's this couple, Mitch and Kristen. If you watch the show, you know who I'm talking about. Okay, so from the get-go, unfortunately, Mitch, I guess Kristen wasn't his type, so to speak. So when she came down the aisle, and that happens, by the way, I mean, and they're kind of aware that that could happen. I mean, you're marrying someone sight unseen, so obviously there's a chance that you might not be attracted to them. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. Part of the risk you take when you go on the show. But yeah, so I guess when he first saw Kristen, she wasn't exactly his type. Now, he didn't really, or at least if he did, that was edited out, but we don't really know, like up front, like what about her isn't his type, because I think she's pretty. And I actually think they look really nice together too. So I was just kind of like, oh, like, but you know, whatever. I guess type is subjective. So, but yeah, he was honest up front with the cameras. I think even on the wedding day, like the very first day that he met her, that she was not really his type. And then on the honeymoon, he tells her, like, you know, probably a little bit more graceful than I'm doing it, but like, he's basically like, you're not my type. So right away, it was kind of like awkward for her, and she was just kind of like, okay. And she handled it really well, I think. Me personally, I would have been like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna work. Not because like I'm upset that, oh, you don't find me attractive. Like, what? How? Not like that, but more so like, I don't know, I just feel like that would be really uncomfortable, and I wouldn't want to, like, if somebody else is clearly not attracted to you and they're supposed to be like fostering a romantic relationship with you, I just feel like that'd be really hard, like for them. And I mean, I would feel bad. I'd be like, I'm sorry, you're stuck with me now. You know, it's awkward. So, I mean, yeah, very, very awkward. Okay, I need to figure out what bronzer. Hold on one sec. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one. This is by L'Oreal. This is their 24-hour bronzer. And this is in the shade 400 Tan. Okay, so yes. So me personally, I feel like it would be very awkward. And yeah, it's weird, but she handled it really well. But I do think that that caused a bit of early onset insecurity for her, which, I mean, duh, obviously. So I think that's, you know, that's not something that you easily forget, that, you know, your new husband isn't really attracted to you. So I think that's kind of been in the back of her mind throughout the process. And I think she's just had a hard time with it. Well, anyways, they've come a long way. He's now said that he is attracted to her. I guess that attraction has grown, which I do believe that as well. I do believe that even if you're not attracted to somebody right away, I do think that there is an opportunity for attraction to grow. So I guess that's what happened here. And yeah, so I guess the whole attraction issue seemed to be put to rest. So this most recent episode, I guess, so Mitch is very, also backtracking just a little bit of like about Mitch, he's very like relaxed, chill. He is an environmentalist, so he's not, actually I should take that back. He's not necessarily chill about everything. He's very passionate about the environment, recycling and stuff like that. So in that arena, he's not chill. But for everything else, like he's not one of those guys who's gonna be like taking pictures of himself at the gym, you know what I mean? Or like one of those Instagram type of guys and like dressing in a nice like Calvin Klein suit. That's not him. He's very much like surfer, wants to hang out at the beach, like chill and relax in that sense. And so he's talking to, on this particular episode, the experts set it up, or the producers, whoever, the show set it up so you were supposed to talk to somebody in your spouse's life. And just use this as an opportunity to get to know your spouse a little bit better. I should also note this experiment, every season is 8 weeks. So they get married, 8 weeks later, they decide whether or not they want to stay together or get a divorce. So we're in like week 6 at this point. So he's talking to Kristen's sister, and he's talking to her sister, and I guess it kind of comes out a little bit more like what Mitch meant in the beginning when he said that Kristen wasn't his type. And so he told her sister that he was kind of thinking that he would get like a little bit more of like a hippie type surfer girl. And Kristen is a little bit more glamorous. I mean, she's not super, super glamorous, but she does wear makeup. She's a little bit more girly. I definitely wouldn't describe her as a hippie surfer girl. Not that there's anything wrong with either. That's just not, you know, what I would describe her as. And I guess he wouldn't either. So he, but although she does like water activities, I mean, I'm telling you guys, if you watch the show, you know, she seems like a really well-rounded person. But I don't know, I guess initially, maybe he felt like she's a little bit too, I don't know, maybe he felt like she was too glamorous. So he felt like she's not really my type. So he's talking to her sister in this past episode, and he's like, oh, you know, I'm kind of, basically tells her, in as nice of a way as you could, that like he's kind of more attracted to her when she's natural. So not wearing a ton of makeup, when her hair isn't done to the nines, like just a very natural, he's like, you know, when she takes off all her makeup at night and her hair is just naturally how it naturally falls, that is when I think that she's, you know, the prettiest. You know, is there a way? And he's asking the sister's opinion. I'm sorry, my nose is like super duper itchy. But he's asking her sister, he's like, what do you think? Like, is there a good way to approach this, or how do I tell her? And the sister basically, who I think Kristen, it's kind of clear that Kristen has definitely shared her journey on, oh my gosh, I'm sorry you guys. My nose is like itching right in this spot. And I'm annoyed I don't want my foundation ruined. Anyways, So yeah, you can definitely tell, I could tell anyways, just the undertone of her sister's, just the way her sister was talking to him, you could tell the sister knew, like, the backstory, right? And so I was like, ooh, I don't think the sister is not Mitch's greatest fan, for sure. So, but yeah, so Mitch is basically trying to ask the sister, like, how should I bring this up? How should I approach Kristen and let her know that she really doesn't need to do herself up that much for me, because I find her more attractive when she has no makeup on and when her hair is just in its natural state. That's when I think she's the prettiest. And the sister, I really like what she said. She was like, just so you know, like, when women put on makeup, it's not necessarily just for the male gaze. Like, lots of times we're putting on makeup for ourselves because we feel better when we're wearing makeup. And, you know, basically she just tells him in a nutshell, that's not a good idea. Like, you probably shouldn't tell her that. It's gonna come off, like, wrong. So yeah, he's like, oh, okay. Like, I think he takes the sister's advice and doesn't say anything. So then all the couples later on in the episode, all the couples meet and they're all meeting together. I think at the apartment complex that they're all staying at, they meet by the pool. And I guess, and this part was not filmed, but Kristen talked to her sister right before they all met, and her sister told her everything. She's like, just so you know, he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I really don't like it that much when Kristen wears makeup and when she does her hair. And so Kristen was livid, like pissed, like real upset. And she just basically blew up at him towards the end of the episode. I mean, it was nuts. Okay, so anyway, so that's what happened. So I'm like, I don't know, like, my thing, okay, so I have some opinions. Sorry, my blush is falling. I have some opinions on this matter. This might be an unpopular opinion, so don't throw stones at me, but I can a little bit see both sides. So first, I'll do Mitch's side because it's shorter. Because I just feel like okay, here's the deal. I think he has a good heart. Okay, I think he has good intentions. I think he has a good heart. I think his delivery is really off. And I don't think, and Kristen also said that later on in like the after show when they were like commenting on that episode. She was just like, I don't think he knows how to talk to women. And I kind of agree. It's like, there's things to say. There's things you say, there's things you don't say. And then there's ways to like wrap up, you know what I mean? Wrap up something. And so I just think that he doesn't really know how to communicate that well, and it shows. Honestly, it really shows. And so yeah, I mean, that's what I will say about him, which, okay, so I guess that's not good, but anyways, that is my opinion about Mitch. Okay, so I just had to pick out an eyeshadow palette that I was going to use really fast. So I'm using the KKW and Mario palette, and I am going to use this shade right here called Don't Move. It's just this really pretty brown. But anyways, so yeah, I think Mitch's #1 issue is he doesn't know how to talk to women well. But I will say, and Dr. Pepper, one of the experts on the show, she also said that briefly during the blow up towards the end of that episode. She was like, you know, I think that is nice to hear that your husband, you know, thinks you're beautiful in your natural like state, because there are a lot of women that you know, that want that. I would think. I definitely want that. Of course, you know, if I do my makeup and I feel like I look pretty, do I want my husband to think I look pretty? Yeah, sure. But the reality is I'm not gonna wear this makeup, or really any makeup, all the time 24/7. So like, for me, it is very important for me that my husband loves me just for me, without, you know, any bells and whistles, because sometimes they're just not there. So I definitely did appreciate that. I was like, okay, I can appreciate the fact that he, you know, that he said that about her. He likes her natural hair. He likes her natural like face, just her naturally. I think that's really nice. However, again, delivery is everything, and I think it just came off so shallow. And that coupled with him telling her at the very beginning of the show, like, I'm not really attracted to you, she took it, you could tell that she took it as, oh my gosh, this is one more thing. You're trying to build your, like, you're trying to, it almost sounds like, I think from her perspective, it sounds like she thinks like you're trying to mold me into somebody that you can possibly find attractive. You know what I mean? And she also said that in her rant towards the end. She was just like, you know, I want to be with somebody who is excited to see me, somebody who thinks that I'm beautiful, even with a little bit of makeup. You know, she wants that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want that too. I feel like a lot of girls want that. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, that's the only, I guess, credit I'm giving to Mitch. Where are all my blending brushes? For real? Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the By Mario palette, and I am going to use this shade right here. It's like this really pretty caramel brown shade. But yeah, so that's how I feel about Mitch. With Kristen, I feel, I mean, I just completely understand where she's coming from. Once she had the opportunity to calm down and, like, you know, maybe be away from him for a second, if somebody asked her that, I think of course she'd be like, yes, of course I want my husband to think I'm beautiful without makeup. But I think it's the setup. It's the fact that he wasn't attracted to her. He told her he wasn't attracted to her. We're talking about appearance again, 6 weeks in, and it's like a sore subject, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't blame her at all for feeling this way. It's kind of like, well, yeah, she's gonna feel this way. You did this, and she said that too. Like, in her rant, she was just like, not really rant. Rant gives it like a bad tone, but when she was expressing herself, she was like, you know, I came onto the show as a full woman, confident, and he's basically just like torn me down. And you just really feel for her. You're just like, yeah. And I don't know if she started crying per se, but you can hear it in someone's voice, and you can tell, like, oh my gosh, they're about to cry. So you could definitely tell tears were swelling, and she was like, this is really embarrassing, because it's just like, nobody wants to sit there and have to like convince someone to be attracted to them. You know what I mean? It's like, no, nobody wants that. And so yeah, she was just really, really hurt, really embarrassed that this attraction subject was coming up yet again. And she was just like, this is like ridiculous. And so at that point she was like, I'm done. I'm just done. But I mean, I don't think that she's 100% done yet, because, you know, they had previews for the next for next week. So I think she's still hanging on a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts. That's my spiel on it. This video is going to be so long. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, let me know how you guys feel about that. Even if you don't watch the show, your thoughts on the story. I think that her reaction was based off of the beginning of their marriage and how honestly he set it up, because he could have just waited for attraction to build. I mean, he could have just tried everything and waited for that attraction. And worst case scenario, at the end of 8 weeks, if he's like, in his head, he's like, there's no way, I cannot see myself being intimate with you, holding your hand, kissing you at all. I just can't see it, because there's just zero romantic chemistry. It's just not there, and it's been 2 months and it's not there. Okay, then you can choose to get a divorce, like, move on, you know what I mean? But to tell someone on I mean, it is what it is. She was like, I'm, you know, glad you're honest, but it definitely does set the tone. When you're that honest, like on day 1, 2, 3, 4, like, you're definitely setting the tone. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel. And I am just taking the exact same 2 shades that I put on the top and putting them on the bottom as well. So my camera just cut off on me, but basically to finish up the eye, I went in with this shade, and this is the KKW, but I went in with this shade right here called So Many Paparazzi, and I just put it on the inner corners. I love doing this because it definitely brightens up the eye, but in a little bit more of a natural way versus when you put like a shimmer shadow. And now for the new lip product. This is the Dior Addict Lip Glow Oil. I have this new shade. This is in the shade Rosewood. And look how pretty that is. I do have this one just to show you to compare. This is the first one I got. And you guys can see how much I've used. I love it. So this is in the shade Cherry. So I'll show you guys together. These feel so good. Whoops, they are a little drippy, so you have to be careful. But this is the applicator. That is it. Just wanted to do this quick little video, chatty, you know, get ready with me. I mainly wanted to try out these products, and they were all a hit, in my opinion. All of these would highly recommend, and actually all of these I've used before. These were all just different colors. I just noticed that right now. So yeah, I still love them. Real good products. But yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, let me know. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.